Sophia and Ethan met by chance at a bustling city party. But in just 24 hours, the man she trusted with her heart revealed a dark, deadly secret that would end her life forever. Sophia was a vibrant 26-year-old woman who had always been drawn to excitement and new experiences. She had recently moved to a bustling city, leaving behind a quiet life in a small town, seeking adventure and independence. Life in the city was fast, and every day brought a new challenge or opportunity. On one particular evening, she attended a party hosted by a mutual friend, a lively gathering filled with laughter, music, and strangers mingling in every corner. Sophia loved observing people, noticing the small details, the way someone laughed, how their eyes moved, the energy they carried. That night, her attention was captured by a man who seemed to stand apart from the crowd. Ethan was tall, handsome, and carried himself with a confidence that was both alluring and mysterious. There was something in the way he looked at people, as if he could see straight into them, that drew Sophia in immediately. Their paths crossed near the balcony, overlooking the city lights, and an unspoken connection formed in that fleeting moment. Ethan's charm was magnetic, and Sophia felt an unusual pull toward him, a mixture of curiosity and attraction she couldn't ignore. They talked briefly, exchanging smiles and subtle glances, and in those few minutes, it felt as if they had known each other for years. By the end of the evening, a casual conversation had led to the exchange of numbers. Sophia walked home that night with a flutter in her chest, feeling excitement she hadn't experienced in a long time. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, an invisible thread connecting her to Ethan. She didn't yet know that behind his charming smile and confident exterior lay a dark secret that would change her life forever, and that the spark she felt could ignite a deadly chain of events within the next 24 hours. The following afternoon, Sophia woke up with a mixture of excitement and nervous anticipation. She had been thinking about Ethan all morning, replaying their brief interactions from the previous night and imagining what their meeting would be like. When Ethan arrived, his presence was even more commanding in person. He smiled warmly, and for a moment, Sophia felt as if the world around them had faded, leaving just the two of them. They decided to spend the day together, starting with a walk through a scenic park filled with towering trees and winding paths. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting patterns on the ground, and Sophia felt a fleeting sense of peace, unaware that danger was lurking beneath the surface. They stopped at a small, charming cafe, choosing a table by the window where they could watch people pass by. The conversation flowed effortlessly, punctuated by laughter and shared stories, and Sophia began to feel as though she had finally met someone who truly understood her. Ethan seemed attentive, his eyes focused on her with an intensity that was both flattering and slightly unsettling. As the hours passed, Sophia noticed subtle inconsistencies in his behavior. He would glance around nervously when someone approached, check his phone obsessively, and occasionally stiffen as if anticipating something unpleasant. She tried to ignore these small signs, convincing herself that everyone had quirks and that she was simply overanalyzing. Yet, a quiet tension lingered in the air, something unspoken that made her instinctively glance over her shoulder from time to time. Despite the unease creeping into her thoughts, she continued to trust him, unaware that these tiny hints were fragments of a much darker truth. By the time the day was ending, the connection between them felt undeniable, and Sophia had no idea how quickly her curiosity and trust would place her life in mortal danger. Later that evening, Sophia returned home, still thinking about the day she had spent with Ethan. The memories of their laughter and his seemingly genuine attentiveness played on a loop in her mind. Feeling a mix of curiosity and exhaustion, she decided to check her phone before settling in for the night. As she scrolled through messages, a notification caught her attention, a photo Ethan had accidentally sent her instead of someone else. Her heart skipped a beat as she opened it. The image was horrifying. It depicted a crime scene, with a woman lying lifeless on the ground, injuries that were shockingly brutal. At first, she thought it must be a mistake, some kind of morbid joke, but the details were unmistakable. Her stomach churned as she noticed the resemblance between the victim and herself. The same hair color, similar build, even the faint echo of a smile that she sometimes wore. Panic surged through her. Sophia's mind raced, replaying the day's moments in a new light. The little oddities, the way Ethan had guarded his phone, the moments when he became tense or obsessive, suddenly made sense. She realized that Ethan was not the man he had pretended to be. A chilling fear gripped her, a deep, instinctual knowledge that she was in imminent danger. She needed to leave, to escape, to get as far away from him as possible, but the thought of contacting authorities was terrifying. She had seen too many crime shows to underestimate the danger. Every message, every smile, every gesture from Ethan suddenly felt like a trap. Sophia understood that she had only one chance to survive, and that the next few hours could determine whether she lived or died. The charming man she had trusted in mere hours had revealed himself as a predator, and she was now caught in a web of secrets far darker than she could have imagined. Sophia's fear became a heavy weight pressing down on her as she tried to make sense of what she had discovered. She knew she had to distance herself immediately, to put as much space between her and Ethan as possible. But when she attempted to text him, a wave of dread washed over her. He was already at her doorstep, calm, smiling, as if nothing had happened. The man she had trusted so quickly had transformed before her eyes into someone dangerous and unpredictable. His charm was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating intensity that made Sophia's blood run cold. Ethan suggested going for a walk to talk things through, a simple pretense, yet Sophia sensed the trap instantly. She felt cornered, the bustling streets and city lights offering no true escape. Every step she took was measured, her senses heightened, but Ethan's presence was suffocating. The conversation he led was calm on the surface, but every word, every gesture revealed the obsession that had been simmering beneath his outward charm. Sophia's heart raced as she realized how quickly someone could turn from a seemingly perfect stranger into a deadly threat. Within minutes, the situation escalated beyond comprehension. Ethan's control became absolute. In a terrifying twist, he acted with a speed and brutality that Sophia could not anticipate. The world around her blurred as he attacked, his obsession turning lethal in a heartbeat. The charming, confident man she had felt an instant connection with was now a predator, leaving no room for escape. In an instant, her life was stolen, the 24 hours that had begun with excitement and curiosity ending in horror. Sophia's final hours had been a harrowing descent into a nightmare she could never have imagined, a reminder that danger often hides behind the most alluring faces. The aftermath of Sophia's death sent shockwaves through the city. News outlets quickly picked up the story, describing the horrifying details and the chilling speed at which her life had been cut short. Authorities worked tirelessly, piecing together Ethan's background and the dark pattern of behavior that had led to this tragedy. They discovered that he had a history of manipulative relationships, each ending in fear and, in some cases, violence. Sophia's case became a grim example of how charm and confidence can mask a deeply sinister nature. Friends and family were left grappling with disbelief and grief, struggling to reconcile the man Sophia had met with the monster revealed by his actions. Her social media posts, once full of laughter and adventure, now became haunting reminders of a life taken too soon. The city itself seemed to hold its breath, the streets and parks where Sophia had spent her last joyful hours now shadowed by the memory of her fate. Ethan was eventually apprehended, his charming persona stripped away under the scrutiny of investigators. The evidence was overwhelming, and his calculated cruelty became evident in the details of his previous crimes. In court, the story of Sophia's final 24 hours shocked everyone who heard it, highlighting the terrifying reality that danger can appear in the most unexpected forms and strike faster than anyone can react. Sophia's life, though tragically short, became a cautionary tale. Her story served as a stark warning. Trust must be measured carefully, and even the most alluring smiles can conceal deadly intent. The memory of her brief encounter with Ethan lingered as a chilling reminder that sometimes, in less than a day, a stranger can change everything, turning what seemed like a spark of desire into a nightmare that no one could have predicted.